Right from the start, the life of Yes Gatspel is a busy one. He is thinking of creating a solution to a problem. His is one of the stories we want to tell here. The others are those of the farmers whose problems he's thinking of solving. Approximately 70% of people in Nigeria earn their living from farming. About 100 farmers go to work every morning on farms across the country, growing different varieties of crops ranging from cereals to vegetables.
I am Beladusi. I'm an indigenous of this state. Kanam local government in this Plateau state, Dengi area.
My name is Yves Gatpa. First, I will tell you that I come from a very, very poor family of living in the villages of the west of France, Brittany. Basically, I was trained as a land surveyor, but I am in Africa since 1957. From land surveyor, I went to road work, I went to construction of dam, of roads, of all the civil work, earthwork and so on. I work all the time in foreign country and I get a good retirement. And when I retired in 2001, that is 20 years ago, I decided to retire here in Nigeria. Why? Because I love Africa, and especially George Ross is perfect for an old man. The climate is, I don't need air conditioner, I have not to pay for air conditioner, I'm always feeling good. It is why I came here, and I want to help the people because I work all my life in Africa. So now I'm an old man, I have to participate to the welfare of the people.
I worked with the CAP, Cotton and Agricultural Processors. They have a branch in Kuru here, after the technical school, this the government. During this days of working, I was transferred to many places. The last place I stayed is Katsina. From Katsina, I retired. And being retired, still idle, I think it's not a good thing for somebody. So I developed interest in this dry season farming. When I was in Katsina, what I farmed was tomatoes, this pepper, the original pepper, not this chili, and maize, potato, sweet potato. This very one now, I started this year. Somebody advised me that if you are lucky, you can get something out of it.
For chili pepper farmers, one thing remains a perennial challenge. That is wastage of farm produce, especially perishables like chili pepper.
The challenges in this dry season farming are many. One, market. I don't know. This tomato now, you farm this tomato, you harvest it, sometimes you take it to the market, no market. I don't know. Maybe the government should come in this case. I learned that there is a tomato factory in Kano. Sometimes they don't even work, they have no materials. While the materials is being wasted here. I don't know what is the problem in that case.
Kuma haka wannan shishan bushi wannan yanzu gashi muna sai da shi naira 6,500 wataran kuma zaka iya samun sa naira 4,000 idan yana buhu yau aka kawo shi idan ya kai gobe ba zai kensa kaman yau ba saboda a cikin buhu yake zafi ne kuma danyen kaya ne to amma an fi son sa ne dai ana kawo shi yau a sai da shi yau.
Sunana Haruna Nuhu daga Das, ina zama farin gada 'yan tumatir. Shambodai inda ake kawowa matsayina na dillali ana kawowa a karancinsa yana farashi sosai idan yayi yawa, gashin da yanzu kayan yawa a kasuwa asara muke ta yi. A buhu muna faɗiwan 1,000 2,000 saboda rashin ciniki da kuma kayan yawa a kasuwa ba masaya.
My name is Alaji Musa Bala. I started this business 10 years ago. Before, we used to sell this fresh one. So sometimes if you get a problem, like transportation problem, especially motor breakdown. So it will take 2 hours, 3 hours, it was spoiled. So that's the reason our people need to buy the dry one because it has to stay long.
Me, I don't believe when you are retired, I will play golf or card with people. I believe I have to continue to be active and participate to the life of the people. I was always in the farm, so I saw what they were cultivating. And I noticed that the villagers, in beginning of the season, they sell the product at a high price. And when the season was going, it was very, very cheap. And in fact, they were not making much money off their work. It pains me. And I discovered that if we can dry the product, we can resist the difficulty of the market, and you can increase your revenue. I was looking what they were doing in the French-speaking country, especially Burkina Faso. And I noticed that they were doing dry machine for vegetable and fruits. So in fact I copy on it. I make some sample. It was not working very well. And I try many other way, and I achieve what you see at the back, a personal dryer that is very efficient and very performing. Because when you dry something, you must not dry more than 45, 50 degrees, even too much. Otherwise you burn the vitamin, you burn the nutrients. But when you dry it at between 35 and 45 degrees centigrade, you keep the aroma, you keep the vitamin, you keep the smell and the taste.
My name is Andrew Nyagwan. I'm the operation manager of the agro processing concept, and we invented this dryer. This is the solar machine dryer, which works with the wind and the solar energy. This is the component whereby we load our produce, and as you can see, it's painted black to attract the solar heat and the radiation from the sun. And we have a glass here that keeps the radiation from escaping from the components. And inside here we have where we put our products, and as you can see, I will open it. Inside here we have the pepper. This is mango pepper on the drying process. We have the rack and we have the trees. This is how we dry it. After we wash it, we remove the back, we cut it, and then we load it into the dryer step by step on these trees. And after we do this, in 5-6 days it is dry. This is the system we have, and it is in a cupboard system that makes it very hygienic and very nice. It keeps the color, it keeps the nutrients, it keeps the aroma and the taste. And this is the main compartment where we put the products, as you can see. And the other component we have here is what we call the wind tunnel. This wind tunnel is part of the component. As you can see, the wind here, we generate wind inside here. Hot air is developed in here, and there's a fan at the end that pushes the hot air into this system. And the big fan in here, as you can see, circulates the hot air through the trays and through the products, creating enough temperature to heat the product to dry level. So this is it. We have the fan that pushes it. The other wind comes from here. It goes into the system and it gets circulated. This is how the drying process happens. And as you can see here, we have a solar panel. This solar panel only powers the fan. We don't use it for anything but to power the fan as a source of energy. That is why it is a solar system. It is not an electric system where we have source of energy from anywhere. The solar panel is just to power the fan, and the fan to circulate the hot air in the system. This is how the dryer works. This is invented by one of our colleague, Mr. Kim, and the idea behind this one is the same system for drying, but this is meant for the household, for household consumption. It is lightweight, it is black, as you can see, to attract the heat, and it's light because our mothers and people at home can take it out in the morning and then put it back in the evening to dry. Yeah, and this system is different from the big system. The big system blows the hot air around, but this system uses a vacuum. Yes, a vacuum system. In a way, it sucks up all the humidity from the down up. And you can see here we have a fan. This fan is the one that pulls up all the humidity from inside outside, and at the same time it dries. And if you can see the inside, you will see how it is structured. It is structured on a rack like this, and you hang your products. When you hang your products on the rack, you put it inside, and then the system sucks the humidity from the down to the top, and then it dries gently. And this system is a hybrid system whereby you can use electricity. It has an adapter which you can use for electricity in the house in the evening to continue the drying process.
This one tray inside here can enter in this one. So this big dryer has 12 trays, and here you have one tray. But this one costs 50,000, and this one costs 550. Yeah. It is about the same price.
Yeah. Why it's colorful like this is because when you dry it in the dryer, it is not exposed to the sun rays directly. Just as you see the sun rays fades clothes over time, it's the same thing that it does to the product. If you dry your product in the sun, it will fade, and if it fades, you don't really get the real color, and the vitamins and nutrients are in the color. So with this, as you can see, it shows you that the vitamins and the minerals are fully inside. That is why the color is like that. When the color reduces, that means the nutrients is gone. That is why it's not dried directly under the sun rays, because sun rays, ultraviolet rays, destroy nutrients in food. The same way it bleaches clothes over time. So with this, you get almost 90% pure what you put inside.
The solar drying is just during the dry season. In Nigeria, you start to dry in October and you finish drying in April. But you can extend sometime. But it is where we are now with a friend of mine on something not different, but improvement. Here you dry by the wind and the heat, and the third generation now will be the wind, the heat, and the vacuum. That is, in place of blowing on the fruit, it will be a pot with on top a fan that will extract and create a vacuum into the container. So this one is even more productive, because you can dry even if there is not too much sun. You talk about the when it is not it is rainy season. The most interesting for Jos is pepe, tatase, Nyango pepe, tatase, chili pepe, onions, sweet potato. We can even dry yam, but we can dry yam with other process. Mainly the spices, everything that we must not expose to the sun. Pepe, tomatoes, onion, ginger, turmeric, parsley, all the green leaves, all the leaves, in fact. When you want to dry it, the pepper, you have to remove the tail, you have to cut it. And to prepare a bag of pepper to put on the tray, It takes a full day for one woman. So I pay the woman 1,000. That is, if she works 24 days in a month, she will get that 24,000. My wife is the query. I'm an African, you know. It is not because my skin is white. But me, you know, I'm more a scientist than a commercial man. I did it for looking if it was possible to dry it, how to dry it, and what should be the benefit of drying. But as I tell you, I have sold what I produce, my bag of pepper. I dry it, I sell 40 like that in the local market, and I make money. But I tell you, my target is not to make money myself. My target is a villager to make money. And now I have twisted since 2 years to NGO, West African Environment Protection, WICENIT. That is, we want to protect the environment and assist the rural villages to find solution to the hardship of the life there in the rural areas. Problem in Nigeria, they use too much chemical in growing their plants. They can use NPK, but they use also insecticide. They need treatments that you cannot even sell it abroad. They refuse it. It is not biologically safe. Nigeria has this problem, but this can be solved easily if people are doing it the right way. It is easy to produce the vegetable not using chemical all the time. You have even what do you call it, insecticides that can be natural. You have in place of NPK, you can use compost. In the French-speaking countries, they do a lot of compost. In Nigeria, they don't do it. I don't know why. And compost is very important. It multiplies by 2, for example, the production of tomatoes. I have in my garden here 4 places where I cultivate tomato. I have places where I don't put anything. I have places where I put little bit of manure. I place places where I put manure and compost, and it produces 2 times more. So I want the same as the dryer. I want to explain people you can make money in drying the product. You can make money in using the proper fertilizer, compost in place of NPK. You know, there is a lot of discoveries now. We are in Plateau, for example. In Plateau, it is very special. When you have a locust bean, the big locust bean, not the young one, the big one, if you plant chili pepper under the leaves of the locust bean, they drop nitrogen. The roots of the locust bean, they are very extending. They bring nitrogen too. And you produce 2-3 times more chili pepper. That second year we have done it in Gili. I've done it in the village of Gili, near Pangshin. And you know, there is a lot of things that Nigerians ignore. They have been interested by petrol too much, but now the young people have to be interested in their own product, what they can do. I'm an old man, I show the way. Normally, government should help people. The villager, the salary is too poor. They cannot buy a machine. So somebody has to, like the Chinese, they say, buy a fishing line to the man and they will get fish and they will be rich. If you give them a fish, they will stay poor. So we should give the villager one dryer, and they will make money plant with it.
Probably Mr. Gatpel's concern on wastage of farm produce in Nigeria could have been shared by other Nigerians, especially the government, private sector businesses, non-governmental organizations, and all stakeholders in agribusiness. The average Nigerian farmer is in dire need of the idea and technology like that of Mr. Gatpel to make a difference.